Hi, sister. Thanks for getting divorced with Giorgio for me. I'm glad you realized that I was just the better woman for him and stepped aside.
Rosella, you've got some nerve contacting me like this.
What? But I just came to tell you that we turned in the marriage papers to the city hall. We're husband and wife now.
And what makes you think I wanted to know that?
I mean, this is a happiness that couldn't have been achieved without your help, so I thought I would share it with you. Oops, sorry. I forgot that you lost your own happiness because of it. Oh, I'm so insensitive. Forgive me. I was just so happy myself that I forgot to think about what you felt. As an apology, I promise to find long-lasting happiness with Giorgio, so forgive me, all right?
Do whatever you want. I don't care. I don't need a cheating man who's so easily seduced by someone like you anyways. I know that you went after Giorgio because he works at a large trading company and has a large salary as well, but I pity you and all other women like you who can only find love by stealing other people's boyfriends.
Huh? What even is that? Aren't you being a bit too mean? It's not my fault that the two of us were meant for each other.
The fact that you got so angry at what I said means that you are at least a little self-conscious about it, aren't you?
Shut up! You're just jealous of me because guys don't find you attractive, but they find me attractive.
I don't want to be told something like that by someone who's only interested in hand-me-downs from other women. Seriously, have you ever even thought about it like that?
What did you just say to me? It's not my fault if guys find me more attractive than other women. And it's not like I steal their boyfriends. It's more that they come to me voluntarily.
Right. Well, I guess you're right in at least one thing. Every boyfriend you stole until now was a cheating piece of scum. To be honest, I actually think you're doing a favor to all those girls whose boyfriends you stole by taking their trash boyfriend away from them. Anyways, I need to unpack my stuff now since I moved. I don't have the time to talk with an idiot like you, so bye.
Huh? What's your deal even? Why are you acting all arrogant towards me like that? You're just the woman Giorgio threw away. I swear I'll become so happy with him that you'll start crying when you see us next. Hi, sister. You received the invitation to me and Giorgio's wedding, right? Hurry up and reply to it, will you? Oh, I guess I don't even need to tell you this, but make sure you reply saying that you'll come, okay? You see, I'm going to make you give us a wedding gift of a huge amount of money.
I got the wedding invitation through our parents' house, but why do I need to come to your wedding? Besides, all of our relatives and even your friends from our hometown know already that you stole my fiancé from me. You're still going to have a wedding ceremony despite that? I'm impressed. Just where exactly did you throw away your sense of shame? Or did you seriously just think that they wouldn't think anything of how you just stole my fiancé like that?
None of that matters as long as the two of us love each other. They'll have no choice but to accept our wedding when they see how happy the two of us are with each other.
Is that so?
Oh, that reminds me. I told you this earlier, but you're the loser of this fight, so I'm going to make you give me a wedding gift of a huge amount of money. I'm going to make you give me 30,000 euros, to be exact.
Huh? What fight?
The fight over Giorgio, of course. Once you see how madly in love the two of us are with each other, you'll just give up and give us the 30,000 euros. Who knows? You might be able to forget about all of this and move on.
I'm not coming to your wedding. Seriously, what made you think that I'd want to come, Rosella? You were always like this, never caring about how other people felt and always just assuming that the world revolved around you.
What? But are you sure you don't want to come? If you don't, you're never going to move on from this, and you're going to regret not coming.
I have no regrets over a man like Giorgio. On the other hand, I actually pity you, Rosella. To think that you're about to marry an idiot like him.
What? Just because you're mad that I stole him from you doesn't mean you can insult him like that. You're such a mean person, Sophia.
If that's what you think, then isn't it better that you just don't invite me to your wedding? After all, I am just a mean person that's not going to celebrate it anyways.
What are you talking about? There's no point in having a wedding if you're not going to be there, idiot. We're going to be hosting this wedding ceremony specifically to crown the satisfaction I received by stealing Giorgio from you. There's no point if you're not there to see it, right?
Huh? So this wedding ceremony is going to crown your idiocracy then? All right, then I think I'll plan a little something of my own too.
Oh, so that means you're going to come to the wedding, right? Please show me your best pitiful loser face at the wedding, okay? We'll give you a seat at the front row at the wedding reception. Look forward to it, all right? Hey, Sophia! The day is finally here, isn't it? Today is me and Giorgio's wedding! Finally, I've been waiting for this day so long. I hope you brought the 30,000 euro wedding gift as promised. Oh, and just like I told you, you're going to be sitting in the front row at our wedding reception. I thought that if I didn't do that, then you would probably just try and hide in the back, but I'm not going to let my own sister do that at my wedding. All right, I'm going to be changing into my wedding dress for Giorgio now, so see you later. Try not to throw a tantrum when you see the two of us exchange vows, all right? Sophia, what do you mean you aren't at the wedding venue? Canceling without a notice is considered impolite, you know. And it's not just you, even. Why is 90% of the people I invited not here? But they said that they would come. Even Mom and Dad aren't here. Our aunt and uncle and our cousins as well, and none of them came. Hold on. Is this your doing, Sophia? Did you tell all of them to reply to my wedding invitation saying that they'd come but not actually come to the wedding or something? You were supposed to give me a wedding gift of 30,000 euros, right? And to think I was planning on using the money I received from everyone's wedding gifts to pay for the wedding. I need your 30,000 euros especially. Jesus. It's fine if you don't come to the wedding anymore. Just deposit the 30,000 euros to my bank account. Sister, sorry, but I actually need you to give me 50,000 euros now. I'm adding 20,000 euros as an alimony for ruining our wedding, which was supposed to be the start of our happiness.
Speaking of alimonies...
Oh, Sophia! Finally, you replied. So, like I already said, I need you to deposit 50,000 euros to my bank account.
I'm not going to be giving you any money, Rosella. On the other hand, though, when are you going to pay the alimony that you owe me?
What? What in the world are you talking about?
Did you forget that I asked both you and Giorgio for an alimony of 30,000 euros? You see, Giorgio told me to wait until you two had your wedding, but that's today, isn't it? Can I take that to mean that you're going to pay the alimony as soon as possible?
What? But I don't know anything about that.
Oh, so you didn't hear anything from Giorgio?
No, he didn't tell me anything about an alimony. Besides, why do we even have to pay you an alimony in the first place? I mean, Giorgio is your ex-fiancé, right? And since now the two of us are married, he's also your brother-in-law. You're seriously going to be so evil and heartless as to make a family member pay you an alimony? You're a sick person, Sophia.
You've got some nerve calling me sick after you just stole my fiancé and are now asking me to give you 50,000 euros as a wedding gift. It doesn't matter whether it's my sister or not. I can legally ask an alimony from you two for Giorgio cheating on me to be with you instead.
Huh? But I already told you that it's not my fault that the two of us were meant for each other. What is so wrong about wanting to be with your soulmate?
Your soulmate, huh? Well, I guess you've lasted longer with Giorgio than any other boyfriend of yours until now. It's still only been a few months, though, so we'll see. Hold on, don't tell me. But did you think that you would somehow be able to get away without having to pay an alimony if it's your sister's fiancé you stole? Did you think that you were so lucky he was my fiancé or something?
I mean, you're my sister, and you're Giorgio's ex-fiancé as well. I thought that alimonies didn't work when the person you were asking one for was your family.
Just where did you get that information? Seriously, you know you could have just looked it up on the internet or something, right? It doesn't matter who it is. If they cheated on me, of course I'm going to make them pay me an alimony. This is your apology for betraying me, and the thing that will crown my revenge towards you.
What do you mean, crown your revenge? But me and Giorgio were supposed to find happiness. You're going to be so mean as to ruin that for us?
Yes. Sorry, but I'm no saint that's going to just forgive you two for what you did, Rosella. Besides, who doesn't want 30,000 euros? And seriously, you're the one who's going to call me mean? Didn't you just try hosting a wedding ceremony as a way to crown your superiority over me, but ended up failing miserably? I got off topic, though. Just tell me, when are you going to pay me the alimony?
Don't ask me. I didn't hear anything about this.
Fine, then ask Giorgio when he's going to pay the alimony.
You go and ask him yourself.
Yeah, but it's going to be such a hassle for me. You're with him right now, aren't you? Just go to where he is right now and explain the situation to him.
But Giorgio said that there was somewhere he needed to go first, and I haven't seen him since arriving at the wedding venue. I'll ask him when I get home. Could you just forget about the alimony we owe you? You see, about the 30,000 euros I was supposed to pay you for your alimony, I used it to pay for the wedding expenses.
What?
I told you about how almost none of the people I invited to the wedding actually came, right? And how because of that, I didn't get as much money as wedding gifts that I had expected. I was counting on that money to pay for the wedding, but it didn't come, so I started looking for some money when I found an envelope with 30,000 euros in cash in Giorgio's bag. I thought to myself, oh, so he already had the money to pay for the wedding prepared then. And so I gave that money to the staff at the wedding venue, and...
So you gave his money to the hosters of the wedding venue without even asking Giorgio first what it was, huh? That was supposed to be the money he would use to pay for the alimony I was asking from him, I suppose.
Yeah. He got mad at me because he said he was intending on handing over that money to our parents' house on the way home from our wedding. But the wedding expenses were 30,000 euros as well, and I didn't know about the alimony, so it was only natural to think it was the money for the wedding, right? I mean, anyone would have done the same thing in my position.
Actually, I think that most people wouldn't just take 30,000 euros from their partner's bag and just hand it over to someone else without their permission first. Because judging by what you just told me, you just looked around in Giorgio's bag and took his stuff without asking him, right?
But he's my husband. His money is my money as well now, right?
Well, not exactly. Based on what I heard from another person, it seems that Giorgio sold some of the more expensive plastic models in his collection to get that money. But even that still wasn't enough, so he borrowed money from some of his friends as well to get that 30,000 euros.
What? But I thought that he was rich. He works at a large trading company, doesn't he?
Well, apparently, I guess not. He was always careless with his money, now that I think about it. By the way, apparently he believed you when you told him that you would take care of the wedding expenses on your own. But the truth was that you were just relying on the 30,000 euros I was going to give you, right?
But I didn't hear anything about this prior. How should I have known?
So did you talk to Giorgio about what you were going to do about the 30,000 euros you owe me? You guys are married, so it's probably not going to be a case of theft, but I heard that Giorgio got all giddy about his marriage with you and made a huge mistake during work, getting fired for it last month, right? Isn't that why he didn't have the money to pay off the alimony immediately? It seems like you're in a pretty difficult situation right now. Giorgio is currently unemployed and looking for a new job, while you don't even have the slightest intention to look for a job yourself. Yet you have to pay me 30,000 euros by, well, today.
You don't need to remind me. I already know that I'm in a difficult situation. I think we might even get divorced soon. What is his problem even? I mean, he's the one who works at a large trading company, not me. Shouldn't he have just paid for both the wedding and the alimony like it was nothing?
I'm not interested in your marital affairs, Rosella. Complain to him about that, not me. The fact that you still owe me 30,000 euros hasn't changed.
What? You're still going to make us pay 30,000 euros when all of this other shit is happening to me?
Of course. It's none of my business what's currently happening to you.
But I don't have any money.
Like I said, that's none of my business. You'll just have to get it somehow.
You're being so mean, Sophia. I thought you were my sister.
We were only ever sisters by blood, Rosella. I remember ever since you entered elementary school, you would always tease me for being ugly, and that continued all the way to, well, now. Besides, it's your fault for hosting a wedding ceremony even though you don't have any money.
What? So what if we had a wedding ceremony? You're not going to let us even do that? Who do you think we are? Some sort of couple in poverty?
But didn't you just say yourself that you didn't have any money? Neither of you currently have a job as well, so if that isn't poverty, I don't know what is. The truth was that you didn't have the money to pay for the wedding, yet you still made plans for it, right?
But not having a wedding isn't benefiting of us when we're a couple who is about to find long-lasting happiness. Besides, I was counting on the money I would receive from the wedding gifts. It's not my fault. It's everyone else's fault for not coming to my wedding and giving me money.
But have you even thought about why almost nobody came to your wedding?
How should I know that? Tell me, why is it that no one came then?
Isn't it because you loved stealing other women's boyfriends? You stole boyfriends from several of your friends, right? Not only that, but this time you stole your own sister's fiancé. It's the same with Giorgio. We had a lot of mutual acquaintances, and so most of those cut ties with him when they found out about what he did. Not only that, but apparently he told his friends that got mad at him for cheating on me that you're just jealous because I'm popular with young women while you're not. Which obviously didn't help the situation. Seriously, why did I ever get engaged with an idiot like him? What made you think anyone wanted to celebrate your wedding?
But everyone said that they would come in the reply to the invitation.
Oh, so did they all cancel at the last moment or something? That is a bit strange, I guess, but I guess they were all just trying to bully you or something. I mean, you do have a lot of enemies, right?
I
guess that's none of my business, though. Just make sure to pay me that alimony, all right? It's already past the due date, so I'm going to hire a lawyer to handle this from now on. Oh, and I'm not considering lowering the amount even by a cent. I kindly ask for your cooperation. Bye then.
But, Sophia!
I was a bit curious as to whether the people Rosella invited and replied saying that they would come to the wedding actually planned a mass last-minute cancellation, but apparently that was actually what happened. The first set of wedding invitations came back mostly with replies that they wouldn't come. It seems that Giorgio gave up at this, but Rosella was a bit more stubborn and invited basically everyone she knew, including former classmates from elementary school. That's how some people who had a grudge against my sister in our hometown found out about her wedding. And so apparently they planned that they would all reply saying that they'd come, but cancel at the last minute. Anyways, this and that happened, and in the end, Giorgio and Rosella could no longer pay for the alimony I was asking of them. This time, they sold Rosella's brand clothes and bags and stuff, and even sold her car. Even that wasn't enough, so they had to take on a loan to somehow gather the 30,000 euros they needed. The day after they finally paid off the alimony they owed me, the two got divorced. That didn't change the fact that they were still in debt, so now the two of them live their separate lives of poverty, working all day, every day to pay off their loans. Keith? Let's start with you giving me a detailed explanation for all that's happened so far.
Asking me for an explanation, huh?
Today is supposed to be the day that my little sister has her wedding with someone, but why on the day of her wedding were you showing up to it wearing the groom's tuxedo? When I saw you walking in on my sister's wedding day as the groom, I was more shocked than actually angered with you. Even now, I'm having a hard time showing any other emotions besides shock because of how outlandish you've been.
Well, as you've pretty much seen everything for what it is, I shouldn't have to give you an explanation for what's going on here.
No, I deserve an explanation for all of that because I currently cannot believe my eyes.
Oh, for crying out loud, I guess there's no way I'm getting out of this without giving you a rundown, so I'll give you that explanation. I'm going to get married to your little sister, Joy, okay? I'm sorry for keeping all that a secret from you. Now, can we get to the part where you divorce me?
Huh? Since when have you been going after my sister, and when did she start to think it was okay to marry my husband?
Well, about half a year ago, I started to talk with her about my feelings towards her. She was working at the bar that I loved to go to a lot back then, and when she came up to me to get my order, she asked me if I was her sister's husband or not. That, I guess, is what you would actually consider the start to all this. And, well, from that point on, I tried my hardest to resist her looks, but man, did the image of me being her in my mind look amazing. And bam! She had a hold of me, and there was no other way for me to free myself anymore.
So you really were taken away by her looks?
Huh?
I know that I've already let you in on this whole story before, but let me explain to you one more time. The reason for why I left my family behind 5 years ago.
What? Why would I need to hear about that again?
My sister, Joy, she, for some reason, takes a liking in stealing anything I lay my hands on, whether that be things or people. And as for my parents, they're the kind of people that look past her doing that sort of stuff to me and love her with all their heart. So to escape such a hellish environment as that, I ran away from my home, leaving everyone in my family behind to start a new life where I didn't have to worry about Joy. Don't you remember when I told you the reason why I couldn't introduce you to my family before we were married was because of that reason? I guess you don't, because in the end, even you, Keith, even you became another part of my sister's hobby and have been stolen away from me.
Oh, come on now. I'm sure that you might just think that your sister is stealing me away from you without any actual emotion to it, but she really does love me, and I love her even more back. And you, of all people, being her sister, should be glad that she's finally found someone like me that makes her so happy. You being not happy to see that just shows how horrible of a person that you really are inside.
And the same could be said of someone that tries to have a wedding with his wife's little sister even before getting a divorce.
Excuse me?
To be honest, I never even wanted to be at my sister's wedding today. Well, either way, I'm going to head home now after this.
Hey! Things have only just begun, and I want you around to see it.
Do you actually think I want to stick around and see the end?
Huh?
You went out and told everyone that you divorced me, and that's how you got all your friends to make it to the wedding today. But those friends of yours that you went out talking to happened to be my friends as well, and figured out right away that something was wrong when the invitation said you'd be marrying my little sister. This isn't going to end well for you, Keith.
Huh? The friends that we both get along with know about this? I don't remember telling any of my friends who are your friends as well about this.
You did, but I won't tell you who. But those friends of ours saw that you sent invitations that you planned to marry my little sister. They were shocked to see that, but were even more shocked that you were doing all of this to me after everyone thought we had such a good relationship. Either way, people know just how messed up all of this is, and the word will start to spread, and everyone will begin to leave.
What?
You can choose to continue with the wedding if you'd like, but don't expect there to be many people remaining after learning about the crap you're trying to pull. Be ready to have the whole world pointing fingers at you for what you've done and calling you a freak and an idiot.
What? That's... Your sister and I were supposed to have a beautiful wedding today and be celebrated by everyone we invited.
Well, with that, in a few days, let's start talks about the settlement I plan to ask from you.
You're planning to ask for money from me now?
And don't plan on coming home today, okay? I don't want to see your face right now, and I don't want to be sleeping in the same house as you anymore.
Wait, Heidi.
I'll be going now. What the heck, Heidi? Hurry up and get everyone to come back to our wedding. Huh? Why are you asking me, of all people, to do that? If you want them all back there watching your messed up wedding, then you go get them yourself.
But you're the one that did all of this, so you have to get them back here or else they won't listen to me. Just because your husband left you for me because I'm better in every way doesn't mean you can just start talking bad about us and getting everyone to leave the wedding we planned out. What the heck are you thinking?
I didn't do anything to make those people start leaving. Those people were all told by a friend of mine, and they chose themselves to believe your wedding is messed up and leave. And I was out of there before everyone else started to leave, so how's that my fault? I'm not responsible for their actions, nor am I going to be responsible for getting them to turn around and go back to you. So go out and get them yourself.
Come back here right now! Heidi! It's been destroyed. You may have ruined my whole wedding with what you did, but I'm still going to be married to Keith, and there's nothing you can do about it. Now just divorce him already so that I can have him. I am going to hand in our marriage papers soon, and then make sure that his parents understand that I'll be his new wife.
Do you even know where his parents live?
What the heck are you talking about? You are living with them right now, right?
Huh?
Those 60-year-old people that you're living with are his parents, right? I really want to come over there and introduce myself to them, but you're always sitting in their house with them and it's driving me nuts. Can you please hurry up and get lost already?
Wait. Could you be mistaking my foster parents for his parents right now?
Huh? Foster parents?
After I left you guys in that house, I had gone out saying that I was a foster child who had no parents. And that's when I was able to find my foster parents who took me in even though I was already in my late teens. Did you not hear about any of this from Dad?
Just wait a second. That means that the gorgeous house that Keith and you have been living in is...
This is the house of my foster dad.
Then what about Keith's parents?
To be honest, I've never met either one of them either. He told me that right after he got into college, his parents went through a tough divorce and then moved off to different places without him. And ever since then, he's been without parents, and that all happened a while back, and he's never even heard from them since. Neither of us even know where they went, to tell you the truth.
Huh?
So I've never met either of his parents, and he was at least able to meet my foster parents before we had our wedding.
Are you kidding me?
So you never even talked with Keith about who the older couple is that we've been living with? Because if you asked him whether they were his parents or not, you would have gotten your answer a whole lot sooner.
He just told me that I wouldn't be able to see them at the wedding.
Well, him being vague with you about it and there being no explanation isn't my problem, but I will say this. Your reason for wanting to marry Keith hasn't been for him, but rather this amazingly beautiful house that I live in right now, right?
Well, you getting to live in that house all by yourself with that older couple isn't fair. So that's why I looked for your husband, and when I found the bar he went to often, I applied for a job there and was able to make my move. I planned to marry him so that I could get that house and live there as well. And what about the name on that house? I made sure to double-check the last name on that house and everything. And I can confirm that the last name on that house is the same as Keith's.
And that's because Keith took my new last name in the marriage.
Huh?
When I was adopted by my foster parents after running away from Mom and Dad, they helped me change my last name since I'm legally their child now. And so that would mean that both Keith and I share the same last name as the owners of this house. That's why the name on the house is the same as his last name, right?
What the heck? How am I supposed to let you get away with some stupid reason like that? Why didn't you ever tell me you changed your last name sooner?
I assumed you would have heard from Mom and Dad about how I found new parents and they adopted me. But to be fair, you never even listened to what I say anyway, and On top of that, after I ran away, you started to tell everyone you kicked me out of the house and that I was mentally ill. That was you spreading that rumor, right? Why would I care about you knowing about my situation after running away when you go and do things like that?
Ah, that's right. How about you change your story about getting adopted and make it seem like I was adopted by them instead? If you let me become their child, then I'll let you have Keith back.
What?
All right, that's a pretty good idea, right?
No, that right there is anything but a good idea.
Why is it not good? I'm giving you back the man you love so much, right? In your case, you should be begging me to give him back to you. This is your chance.
You think I'm still going to love the man that cheated on me with my little sister?
Huh?
That bastard told me why he went after you a little while ago and explained how much he loves you over me. As well as told me that you've been together for 6 months now.
He told you that already?
The fact that you're getting surprised by that is surprising.
Then what can I do for you that'll get you to let me be their kid?
No matter what you do, you're not going to become their child.
But that's not frickin' fair. You always get to have things your way, Heidi.
Then, Joy, if you really want to become their new child, do you think you can speak 5 different languages within the next 2 years fluently like me?
Huh?
You have to be pretty globally sophisticated to be their child, as well as know a lot about my foster dad's company.
What the heck? Why do I have to do all that?
The reason for me being their foster child is because I helped my foster dad's business, and will someday be the one to take over their company. And that's going to be happening in the next 2 years, so I have to be ready.
What? What does this even mean?
If you can't do that, then stop trying to be their next child, okay? Also, in the next few days, I'll be asking for a settlement from you.
A settlement? Why?
Do you really think you could get away with stealing someone's husband and there'd be no consequences for it? Unlike all those times in the past, you're an adult now, and the only thing that can save you now is money, not your parents. So don't go trying to find a way out of this one, because you won't escape me.
But you're asking for money from your own sister.
Well, that's still up for debate, actually. Whether you really are my little sister anymore or just some stranger to me. But either way, I'm getting a settlement.
You're kidding me.
In my case, I had my husband stolen from me, so I have the right to take you to court and make you pay for the damages caused. So make sure you pay every penny I ask for, and then get out of my life.
But this shouldn't be happening.
Hey, Heidi! You're asking me for over $60,000? Why do I have to pay you that much? You should only be able to ask me for a smaller amount based on me cheating on you, right? I already have to deal with paying for that failed wedding and the wedding ring, but now I'm being asked to pay $60,000?
Well, when it comes to that wedding you have to pay for, you used both our money to start paying for it, right?
Wait, what?
And as for some of the money that I had in my private savings account, you used it as well on that wedding. I don't know how you figured out my PIN for that account, but you took my money without asking.
So you want me to give that back to you, huh?
Well, when you add in that money you took from me in our shared account, the settlement comes out to $60,000.
But I don't have that kind of money right now.
Do you not realize that you stole money from me to use on a wedding with my little sister while we've still been married? If you thought that was okay, then I find it okay to make you go into debt to pay me back. And you have no right complaining to me now, right?
But this... For some reason, I haven't been able to get any response from Joy about this, and now I'm on my own, facing $60,000. Wait, what the hell is going on here? Why did I have to end up dealing with all this by myself? What did I even do that was bad enough to deserve all this?
Maybe go back and look at what you were explaining to me a little while back about what you did and my sister did. Anyway, I'm going to have my lawyer be the one to deal with you now. So take the number that's on that business card I left for you and talk with my lawyer if you have anything else to say.
And you're just gonna leave me now?
You already know the answer to that question, Keith. Now, goodbye forever.
Wait a second, Heidi. Having to get divorced from you in this manner? I don't have anywhere to go if you leave me like this. Heidi!
To start, let's talk about my sister, Joy. She had tried to get her parents to pay off the settlement I had asked for from her, but not even they had the money to pay for what I was asking. Just a little while back, the business they had ended up going bankrupt, and they had to sell their house in order to pay the bank, and have since then been without proper jobs. So with whatever money they all did have, they used to pay me, and then all had to move away into a small and worn-down apartment together. Joyce still hasn't paid everything off that I've asked for yet, but I'll make sure that she pays me little by little until she'd met the amount I've asked for. And now, here's what happened with my ex-husband. He had touched money that was not his in the first place, and even then, after using said money, he didn't have anything left to pay me that $60,000 I asked for. He ended up having to borrow money to pay the money I was asking for off, and then after that was left with no place to go. He began stalking Joy in hopes of getting money from her, and also handed in marriage paperwork to the city office without her approval. But what happens next with those two now that they might get married will have to be saved for another day, when there's more time to talk.